Thanks for the business news with our business editor, Kate Moody. Good evening, Kate.
Hi, Delano.
The U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo was in London today dialing back some of his rhetoric on Huawei.
Absolutely. The Trump administration had previously threatened to stop sharing intelligence with allies that didn't agree to ban the Chinese tech giant. The White House's top economic advisor says a decision has not yet been made, although Mike Pompeo suggested that ties would not be altered. Earlier this week, the UK said it would allow Huawei to play a role in developing its fifth generation or 5G mobile technology while restricting access to sensitive parts of the network. It led to speculation that Washington could hold back on negotiating a trade deal with the UK. That'll be a crucial step post-Brexit. But Secretary Pompeo said the allies would still have a special relationship.
This isn't about any one company. This is about a model that the Chinese Communist Party has where they place requirements on these businesses that say, thou shalt do. We all have to work together to make sure that we develop not only for next month or next year a sound set of alternatives that deliver best-in-class technology to every one of our citizens in our democracy. I'm confident that we will get there.
The Bank of England surprised some analysts by keeping its main interest rate on hold, even as it slashed its estimates for economic growth on the eve of the UK's exit from the European Union. The central bank predicted the economy would expand only 0.8% this year, down from 1.2% in its previous forecast. The principal risks were identified as Brexit uncertainties and a weaker global outlook. Some policymakers had suggested cutting interest rates from 0.75% in order to boost the stagnating economy. Was the last policy meeting for outgoing bank governor Mark Carney. He'll be replaced by the head of the Financial Conduct Authority, Andrew Bailey. Well, the American economy grew at its weakest pace in 3 years, 2.3% for 2019 as a whole. New data showed GDP growth of 2.1% for the final 3 months of the year. It means the economy once again fell short of the Trump administration's ambitious 3% target. Consumer spending, a key driver of the U.S. economy, showed signs of slowing, while corporate investment and manufacturing also slumped. Let's check in on the day's trading action now. We're seeing global markets slipping once again as the coronavirus continues to spread and more companies try to limit their exposure. Wall Street trending down, shares of Facebook plunged as much as 8%, wiping a whopping $50 billion off its market value. That was earlier in the session. It has since recovered slightly, although it's still down about 6% after reporting slower revenue. The major European indices closed sharply lower as well, although the Eurozone's unemployment rate dropped to a 12-year low. Deutsche Bank shares rose 4% as it presses ahead with a major restructuring, despite full-year losses that topped €5 billion. The Indian government is set to unveil its spending plans for 2020. The budget comes against a backdrop of slow economic growth and weak purchasing power, as Carrie Scarland explains.
Vegetables that should normally be a household staple are now a luxury item for many Indians. This 50-year-old woman says she works through the night after taking 2 jobs just to earn 15,000 rupees a month, about €190.
We can't cook anything without onions, so we can't afford such high prices. We have to think twice before buying anything. We have to think about whether to cook with 1 onion or 2 onions, because vegetables are so expensive. We can't afford it.
Revealing its 2020 budget on Saturday, Narendra Modi's government will be under pressure as the country battles high inflation and record unemployment. The budget is expected to focus on boosting the agricultural economy and infrastructure spending. But the current situation has locals worried, with some not able to find work, and even when they do, wages fall short.
It takes a full year for a domestic worker to earn what a tech company CEO earns in 10 minutes. Average income of a household in this country, which is from the periodic labor force surveys, is around 10,000 rupees per month.
That's the equivalent of €126. But not everyone is suffering. A report released by Oxfam last week said the wealth of India's top 1% increased by almost a half in the past year. But for many others, purse strings remain tight.
The budget to be unveiled on Saturday, Delano.
Thank you very much for that, Kate. Kate Moody there with a look at the day's business news.